please marry me? Please.
Yeah.
Will you consider it?
Yeah, I will consider it.
Are you married now?
Yeah, I've been married for...
You're married now, but yet you're going to consider marrying me.
Country music is built on stories of love, heartbreak, and temptation. But behind the lyrics, many of its female stars were living out dramas that scandalized Nashville. Their voices soared with purity, yet their reputations were whispered about in backrooms, tabloid pages, and tour buses. From torrid affairs and backstage romances, these women blurred the line between personal desire and public performance. Join us as we reveal 21 of the most promiscuous women in old country music history. Let's start with Patsy Cline. Patsy Cline had one of the most powerful voices in the history of country music. Songs like Crazy and I Fall to Pieces turned her into an icon, but her private life was far from the wholesome image that the industry wanted to project. Patsy was known for her fiery independence, and she never hesitated to pursue what she wanted, musically or romantically. Though married to Charlie Dick, Patsy was rumored to have had multiple affairs within the music business. Friends and insiders whispered about her flirtations with producers, musicians, and even touring partners. To Patsy, love and passion were as wild as the music she sang, and she lived life without apologies. Her boldness was shocking for her time. In an era when women were expected to remain quiet and loyal, Cline broke barriers by following her own desires. Her early death in a 1963 plane crash froze her legacy in time, leaving behind both timeless music and lingering tales of a woman who lived and loved without restraint. Up next, we have Tammy Wynette, known as the First Lady of Country Music. Tammy Wynette projected vulnerability through classics like Stand By Your Man, but offstage, her life was a whirlwind of failed marriages, affairs, and scandal. She was married 5 times, and rumors swirled about infidelity in between. Her tumultuous marriage to George Jones was marked not only by alcohol-fueled fights, but also by cycles of betrayal and reconciliation. Nashville insiders whispered of Tammy's involvement with other men during their off-again periods, including rumored flings with industry executives and fellow performers. Tammy's romantic entanglements added fuel to her dramatic reputation. To some, she was a victim of circumstance, searching endlessly for love and stability. To others, she was a woman unafraid to take what she wanted, even if it caused chaos. Her songs of heartbreak still ring true, perhaps because they were born out of real-life choices that left her forever entangled in stories of passion and scandal. Coming up next is Tanya Tucker. Tanya Tucker exploded onto the scene at just 13 years old with Delta Dawn. Till one day they heard him ask a little green-eyed. But fame came fast, and so did the wild lifestyle that followed. By her late teens, Tanya was making headlines not just for her music, but for her romances with much older men. Her relationship with Glenn Campbell became one of the most scandalous affairs in country history. The two fought, drank, and loved passionately, often in full view of the media. But Glenn was far from the only man in Tanya's orbit. She was linked to a string of musicians, actors, and industry insiders throughout her career. Unlike many of her peers, Tanya seemed to revel in her reputation as a temptress. She embraced her sexuality and rebellious image, leaning into tabloid scandals as part of her brand. Today, she remains one of country music's great survivors, proof that a reputation for promiscuity didn't end her career, but only added fuel to her legend. Now, let's turn to Loretta Lynn. Loretta Lynn, the coal miner's daughter, built her career on songs that spoke to women's struggles, infidelity, heartbreak, and betrayal. Yet behind the microphone, Loretta's personal life was filled with complexities of its own. Her marriage to Oliver Doolittle Lynn was notoriously turbulent. While Loretta often sang about standing by her man, she was also rumored to have pursued her own affairs during periods of marital discord. Nashville gossip linked her to other musicians and business figures, though Loretta herself never confirmed the rumors. Her candid songs about cheating women and unfaithful men led fans to wonder how much was drawn from personal experience. Some saw her as hypocritical, others as boldly honest. Regardless, her music struck a chord because it came from a place of lived truth. Loretta Lynn's legacy is not just one of artistry but of complexity, a woman who wrote about infidelity while living through her own chapters of it. Following that, we have Kitty Wells. Kitty Wells became country music's first female superstar with It Wasn't God Who Made Honky Tonk Angels, a song that directly challenged double standards about women and infidelity. But Kitty herself was not immune to the lure of scandal. Though she was married for decades to Johnny Wright, whispers persisted of Kitty's involvement with other men during the height of her career. Her willingness to sing songs that addressed taboo subjects fueled rumors that she was writing from personal experience. Some industry insiders claimed she lived a more adventurous private life than her wholesome public image suggested. Even if the details remain fuzzy, Kitty's impact is undeniable. She opened the door for women to sing about sexuality, betrayal, and independence. Whether through lived experience or lyrical interpretation, she became a symbol of women pushing back against the expectation of silence and submission in country music. Moving along, Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton has spent her career charming fans with her humor, talent, and openness. But behind the glittering smile and rhinestones, Dolly has faced decades of rumors about her private life. Married to Carl Dean since 1966, Dolly has long been subject to whispers of infidelity. The most famous rumor centered on an alleged affair with her longtime musical partner, Porter Wagoner. Their chemistry on stage fueled gossip, and Dolly herself has admitted that their relationship was deeply complicated. Beyond Porter, Dolly has been linked, whether truthfully or through tabloid invention, to various men in and out of the industry. She has often played coy in interviews, never fully denying or confirming. Instead, she laughs off the gossip, keeping her private life carefully guarded while allowing the rumors to add intrigue to her brand. Whether fact or fiction, the speculation surrounding Dolly Parton's love life only added to her mystique, making her one of the most alluring figures in country music history. Continuing on, Dottie West. Dottie West was a beloved figure in country music. Running through fields of daisy. Known for her duets with Kenny Rogers and her glamorous stage presence, but beneath the spotlight, her romantic life was just as colorful as her music. West married 3 times, each relationship filled with turbulence. Alongside her marriages, she was rumored to have had numerous affairs throughout her career. Insiders gossiped about her involvement with other performers, suggesting that Dottie's personal life was just as adventurous as her stage persona. Her openness to passion and romance made her a target for tabloid speculation, but it also gave her authenticity. Fans related to her because she sang about love in all its messy forms, and they believed she lived it too. Tragically, Dottie's life ended in a car accident in 1991, but her reputation as one of country's most romantically adventurous women has endured. Next on the list is June Carter Cash. June Carter Cash is remembered as the loyal partner. Love is a burning thing. Who saved Johnny Cash from his demons. But before she became the matriarch of the Carter Cash dynasty, June was no stranger to scandal herself. Married 3 times, June was linked romantically to several men in the music world, including Elvis Presley, before her relationship with Johnny took center stage. Her affair with Johnny, which began while both were married to other people, was one of the most talked about scandals in country history. June's charm, wit, and musical talent made her irresistible to those around her, and she lived unapologetically. While her later years cemented her image as a devoted wife and mother, her earlier reputation was far more complicated. Her life proved that even country royalty could not escape the pull of passion, scandal, and desire. Another name you need to hear, Barbara Mandrell. Barbara Mandrell was known for her polished image and string of hits in the 1970s and 80s. But behind the glamorous television specials and family-friendly persona, there were whispers of a more scandalous private life. Though married for decades to Ken Dudney, Rumors of Barbara's extramarital affairs persisted throughout her career. She was linked to musicians and industry executives, with tabloids eager to expose cracks in her perfect image. Mandrell never confirmed these rumors, often brushing them off with poise. But the constant speculation revealed the double standards she faced. Her male peers were celebrated for their conquests, while Barbara was scrutinized for even the suggestion of impropriety. Her enduring career, combined with her refusal to let gossip define her, shows the resilience of a star who navigated both fame and scandal with grace. Up next, Reba McEntire. Reba McEntire has long been seen as country's fiery redhead,
that you could be mine if good things come.
Balancing powerhouse vocals with sharp business acumen. But Reba's love life has often been the subject of rumors and gossip. Her marriage to Narvel Blackstock lasted over 2 decades, but along the way, whispers circulated about affairs with fellow performers and men behind the scenes. Her decision to divorce Narvel in 2015 reignited speculation about her relationships, with tabloids linking her to younger men and fellow artists. Reba has remained tight-lipped, neither confirming nor denying the stories. Yet, her sultry stage presence and undeniable charisma kept fans speculating about her private passions. Whether true or exaggerated, the rumors added to her aura as a woman who lived boldly both on and off stage. Coming up next is Jeannie C. Riley. Jeannie C. Riley skyrocketed to fame
I wanna tell you all a story about a Harper Valley widow.
with her sassy anthem, Harper Valley PTA. With her miniskirts and bold attitude, she pushed the boundaries of what a country star could look and sound like. Her image as a liberated woman carried into her personal life. Riley was known for her flirtatiousness, and she was rumored to have pursued affairs with fellow musicians and producers. At a time when conservative Nashville frowned upon women asserting their sexuality, Jeannie embraced it, making her a lightning rod for gossip. Her reputation as promiscuous sometimes overshadowed her talent, but it also made her a symbol of change. She represented a new kind of country woman, one unafraid to own her desires. Though her career eventually slowed, Jeannie C. Riley's boldness left an indelible mark on the industry. Now, let's turn to Linda Ronstadt. Though often associated with rock and pop, Linda Ronstadt made deep inroads into country music through her work with the Stone Ponies and her solo career. Beyond the hits, Linda developed a reputation for living as freely as she sang. She was romantically linked to a long list of high-profile men, including Jerry Brown, the governor of California, and even comedian Jim Carrey. But within the music business, whispers suggested she had more than a few flings with fellow musicians during tours and recording sessions. Linda never married, a fact that fueled further speculation. Some saw her as promiscuous, others as simply unwilling to settle. Either way, she embraced her independence, unapologetic about her choices in love. Her career eventually moved beyond country, but her image as a fiercely liberated woman who lived on her own terms made her one of the most talked about figures in the 1970s scene. Following that, we have Skeeter Davis. Skeeter Davis charmed audiences with hits like The End of the World, but behind her sweet voice was a far more complicated personal life. She was known for her romances as much as her music. Married multiple times, Skeeter was also rumored to have had affairs with both fellow performers and men outside the industry. Gossip swirled around her during the height of her career, with tabloids quick to paint her as a woman who couldn't be tied down. Her complicated love life sometimes distracted from her artistry, but it also gave her music authenticity. When Skeeter sang of heartbreak and longing, fans believed she was pulling from her own experiences. Though her career eventually slowed due to health issues and personal struggles, her reputation as one of country music's most romantically adventurous stars has endured. Moving along, Crystal Gayle. Crystal Gayle, the younger sister of Loretta Lynn, carved her own path in country music.
Why have you left the one you left me for?
With her silky voice and floor-length hair, her image was one of elegance, But behind the polished exterior, she was not immune to whispers of scandal. Though married since the 1970s, rumors of affairs followed Gayle throughout her rise to fame. Industry insiders suggested she had romantic ties with producers and fellow performers during her early career, fueling speculation about how she navigated Nashville's male-dominated industry. Unlike some of her peers, Crystal managed to keep most of her private life out of the spotlight, but the rumors of her flirtations persisted. Her beauty and charm only added to the gossip, making her one of the era's most speculated about stars. Regardless of what was fact or fiction, Crystal Gayle's music made her a household name, while her rumored romances added a layer of intrigue to her otherwise pristine image. Next on the list is Emmylou Harris. Emmylou Harris is celebrated as one of the most respected voices in Americana and country.
Making believe.
Yet even she was no stranger to whispers about her love life. Her close working relationships with male collaborators often sparked rumors. She was linked romantically to Graham Parsons, with whom she shared a famously intimate musical partnership. After his death, Emmylou continued to face gossip about relationships with other musicians and producers she worked with. Though she was married and divorced multiple times, Harris maintained an air of mystery around her personal life. Fans and insiders speculated about affairs, but Emmylou rarely addressed them, choosing instead to focus on her artistry. Her reputation for quiet promiscuity never overshadowed her music, but it added to her aura as a woman who lived by her own rules. In an industry where women were often confined by expectations, Emmylou Harris carved out her freedom both musically and personally. Continuing on, Barbara Fairchild. Barbara Fairchild found fame in the 1970s.
With no dreams to dream and nothing to be sorry.
With hits like the Teddy Bear Song, but her sweet, innocent sound belied a private life that fueled plenty of gossip. Married multiple times, Fairchild was rumored to have had affairs during her early career as she navigated Nashville's competitive scene. Some industry insiders claimed she pursued relationships with musicians and producers as much out of passion as survival in a male-dominated business. Her youthful beauty and bold stage presence made her a subject of constant speculation, especially in tabloid columns that eagerly dissected her love life. Though she later settled down and embraced a more wholesome image, the stories of her early years remained part of her reputation. Barbara Fairchild's story is one of contrasts, a singer known for innocent lyrics, but remembered by insiders as one of country's quietly promiscuous figures. Another name you need to hear, Jean Shepard. Jean Shepard was one of country's early female pioneers.
Once we were so happy, you were my very own.
And her fiery independence set her apart. But with that independence came plenty of rumors about her private affairs. Shepard was married twice, but insiders often whispered that she had dalliances outside of those unions. Touring constantly in the 1950s and 60s, she was frequently linked to fellow performers and even band members. Her outspokenness and refusal to conform to Nashville's conservative standards only fueled the gossip. Some critics labeled her promiscuous, while others saw her as a trailblazer living on her own terms. Despite the chatter, Shepard built a decades-long career, proving that talent could overcome scandal. But the stories of her adventurous love life remain part of her legacy, adding complexity to one of country's boldest female voices. Now let's turn to Lorrie Morgan. Lorrie Morgan became a star in the late 1980s.
I know you loved him.
And quickly earned a reputation as one of country's most romantically adventurous women. Married 6 times, her love life often made bigger headlines than her music. Morgan's marriages to Keith Whitley and later to singer Sammy Kershaw were filled with drama, but in between, she was linked to a long list of partners, including politicians and businessmen. Nashville insiders joked that Lorrie collected husbands the way other stars collected awards. But Morgan never shied away from her reputation. She openly discussed her relationships in interviews, sometimes even poking fun at herself. To her, love was something to chase, even if it meant heartbreak. Her candor, combined with her undeniable talent, made her both a target for gossip and a beloved figure. Lorrie Morgan's promiscuity became part of her persona, turning her into one of the most unforgettable women in country music. Following that, we have Billie Jo Spears. Billie Jo Spears scored hits in the 1970s
That big old moon is shining down.
with songs like Blanket on the Ground, a tune that openly celebrated marital passion in a way that raised eyebrows. The song reflected Billie Jo's own reputation as a woman unafraid of sexuality. Married 3 times, Spears was rumored to have pursued affairs throughout her career. Fans and insiders alike saw her as flirtatious and bold, never content to play by Nashville's conservative rules. Her choice of provocative material only deepened the gossip, with many assuming her lyrics reflected her private adventures. Though her reputation as promiscuous sometimes overshadowed her artistry, Spears remained unapologetic. She embraced her image as a woman who loved freely, turning what could have been scandal into empowerment. Her legacy remains tied to both her sultry music and her adventurous reputation. Next on the list is Leona Williams. Leona Williams built her career as both a solo artist and as a collaborator with Merle Haggard, but she was often in the spotlight for her personal life as much as her music. Her marriage to Haggard was turbulent, filled with rumors of infidelity on both sides. Beyond Merle, Leona was linked to other musicians and industry figures, with whispers of affairs dogging her throughout her career. Her reputation for promiscuity sometimes overshadowed her undeniable talent as a songwriter and performer. Yet, like many women on this list, she refused to apologize for her choices. Leona carved out her path in a male-dominated business by living boldly, regardless of what people thought. Her music remains respected, but her private life ensured that she would forever be remembered as one of the more scandalous figures of her era. And finally, Shania Twain. Shania Twain became the face of 1990s country music, transforming the genre into a global phenomenon with Man, I Feel Like a Woman, and Any Man of Mine. Her beauty, confidence, and bold stage persona made her one of the most desired women in entertainment, and her love life was never far from the headlines.
Married to producer Mutt Lange, the man who helped shape her career, Shania projected the image of stability. But when news broke that Mutt had been having an affair with her best friend, Shania's private life exploded into scandal. In a shocking twist, Twain later fell in love with the ex-husband of that same best friend, turning the gossip mill upside down.
Though not promiscuous in the same freewheeling sense as some of her predecessors, Shania's tangled relationships and bold choices made her a lightning rod for attention. She redefined what it meant to be a woman in country music, not just in her music, but in her unapologetic embrace of love, loss, and scandal. More than anyone else, she closed out the 20th century as country's most talked about woman. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe for more untold stories from country music's hidden past. And before you go, check out the other videos on your screen. You won't want to miss them.